traveling golfer is once again on the golf trail. This time it's a little different trail. It's the Ed Sheeran Golf Trail, a name given to a collection of upscale daily fee courses that changed the path of golf in the greater Philadelphia region. Courses like Riverwinds in New Jersey, right along the Delaware River, Vineyard Golf at Renault Winery at the Jersey Shore, and Ravensclaw Golf Club in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. All designed by Sheeran, all in a short period of time. You're going to learn about these courses, and you're going to talk to the man himself, a man with an incredible passion for the game of golf. We'll have it for you here on the latest episode of The Traveling Golfer.
One moment changes everything. Distance, precision, decided in a microsecond. So reduce your ball spin and get the most performance at impact with 4 yards more. A next-gen golf tee proven by pros and players like you. The unique durable design flexes at contact, reducing ball spin, giving you tighter control and more distance. So change your game and get 4 yards more. Brought to you by Greenkeepers. Golf Smart.
We're in the war room. This is where all the design work happens for Sheeran Golf. Ed Sheeran, golf course architect. You've been busy for a number of years, but really broke on the scene in 2001 with the design of Riverwinds right on the Delaware River.
It was a beautiful site. You had a beautiful skyline view of Philadelphia, right across from the stadiums and Philadelphia International Airport.
That kind of setting, you can't build. Of course, the Delaware River, you can't build either, but the rest of it had to be built because it was not a pristine piece of property. As a matter of fact, talk about an environmentalist, this project actually did something to improve the landscape.
New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection viewed it as one of their best renovation projects. The source of material was river bottom, dug out during World War II. It had heavy arsenic levels, and basically there was 2 flat plates of ground there when we got it. So we had to cap everything, so we turned soil that was environmentally unfriendly into a beautifully environmentally friendly spot.
You were able to incorporate the Delaware River right into the golf course itself.
We always try to take advantage of any natural features. We had the 2 plates of ground that we utilized, teeing off 1, hitting over on number 4, teeing off 7, hitting into on the 9th green. But really it was the views of the skyline of the Delaware River. So you finish 15, 16, 17, and 18. 17 being a natural island green, right on the Delaware River with the planes landing opposite in the Philadelphia International Airport.
I'm going to have to say that's probably the most memorable hole. Nobody forgets that 17th hole, the island green in the Delaware River. A great way to leave the golf course, so to speak.
Pretty special. And when Ron Jaworski builds the clubhouse, the back of it was designed that the dunes out on the golf course actually frame the skyline. That course was designed because of high winds. We triangulated all the holes. And it was a bump and run link style golf course. So it plays the way link style golf courses play in Scotland, Ireland, with that sandy loam soil.
The golf course at Riverwinds, right on the Delaware River, West Deptford, New Jersey, would probably not be here if it wasn't rescued by this guy. Ron Jaworski, his company, very involved in golf in the greater Philadelphia area and very involved at Riverwinds. Great to be with you again, and great to be talking about the comeback of this course that was Ed Sheeran's first design in the area.
Tony, great to have you here at Riverwinds. You are correct. This golf course was designed by Ed Sheeran. Did a fantastic job. It was in bankruptcy. We purchased it out of bankruptcy. Turned it into a great golf course. The layout, the bones are here, as you always say. The bones. Ed knows how to design a golf course, knows how to build a golf course. So before we made the purchase, you do your due diligence and everything was done the right way. So we were taking over a really good facility. We just had to put a little polish on it, and that's what we've done. The vistas here are ridiculous. You know, the airport is just across the river, the Delaware River right here. You know, behind us, the Riverwinds restaurant, and I think this Island Green, our signature hole. It's just a cool place. And by the way, just across the river, I can see Lincoln Financial Field. So we are close to everything here.
Well, they say location, location, location.
That's right.
And the fact that all those millions of people in the office buildings right there in Philadelphia can sneak out of work and come right over here and play, or the Eagles and Phillies can sneak out of work.
That is correct. You know, we not only have an eagle nesting here on the property, we have the Philadelphia Eagles team is here on a regular basis. Yeah. Literally are the closest golf course for the athletic teams here in Philadelphia. And what I've kind of noticed over the last couple of years, the millennials or the Generation Zers, or the next group coming on from Drexel and Penn, we're getting a lot of those students Ubering over here because we're about 10 to 12 minutes away, and we're getting a lot of a younger demographic in the game of golf. And Tony, as you know, that's the target.
Well, to keep the game going, you're absolutely right. And Riverwinds is an immediate release from all the hustle and bustle there. As you said, you have an eagle's nest, but we saw a huge herd of deer out here. You've got ducks and wildlife all along the river. It's like a little sanctuary.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable. Probably about 6 minutes from the Walt Whitman Bridge here. And you know, when you cross out of Philadelphia, you cross the Walt Whitman, you come out here and you're out in nature.
We know 17's the most memorable hole here in Island Green, out in the little cove of the Delaware River, but there's so many other really interesting holes here, and I know you get a chance to play here, so give me a couple of your favorites.
Actually, you know, this may sound maybe self-promoting or promoting Riverwinds, but every hole is great. And I will not take credit for that. I'll give Ed Sheeran the credit. He really laid out a terrific links-style course here. You know, he went over to Scotland and scouted, you know, courses out there before he built Riverwinds. And, you know, he integrated, you know, what he saw over in Scotland here to Riverwinds. Not only the beautiful vistas of the city and the water, but the bunker work that Ed did is phenomenal. You know, you're going to talk about the 17th hole. Yeah, it's our signature hole because it's cool. But the signature hole for me, I would say the one that gets most acclaim is 17, but 16 is really a cool hole. It's a nice par 4, multiple tees. You can play it probably from 350 to 450, depending on your handicap and what challenge you want to take. The water runs all along the right side, so it gives you a beautiful vista of the city, the airport, the boats coming up and down, and it's a really challenging golf hole.
Along the banks of the Delaware River, it's time for our Strakaline putt of the day. A little guidance is welcome on this double breaker. Good read, almost made it. The second stop on the Sheeran Golf Trail also took place in South Jersey, even farther south toward the Jersey Shore. Vineyard Golf at Renault Winery, a winery that had been operating for years and then added the amenity of golf. That was a totally different operation from what you built at Riverwinds.
Yeah, the origin of the design concept there was 8 miles outside of Atlantic City. They have conferencees coming in, only playing 2 or 3 times a year. So the challenge there was to make a golf course that was challenging to the best players and make it playable for the 18 handicap player. And that was done by using Alistair McKenzie's concept of using diagonal hazards, where if you didn't want to go over the hazard, you could play around it for an easy bogey, but progressively of how much of the diagonal you wanted to take off, you got a distinct advantage for a par or birdie.
Paul Israel, Director of Golf Operations at Vineyard National at Renault. And Paul, we're on the 7th tee, I think. Or am I on a cloud floating above this vineyard all around us?
No, this is the 7th tee. It's a golf hole that plays through the vineyards. One of my favorite holes here. Very peaceful setting out here. We have no houses which go around the golf course.
The natural setting was not disturbed by the golf course.
No.
It sort of fit right in.
Absolutely, yeah. When Ed Sheeran did the golf course, he did a great Great job just keeping the natural landscaping. There's a lot of undulation out here, which is very different for South Jersey.
I've been out here many times, and it's 18 totally different holes.
Yes.
18 good holes, not a bad hole out here. But I'm going to put you on the spot. I want your favorite hole.
Number 12, because of the elevation change, you're teeing off and you're teeing down the fairway. Also number 17, because it's a risk-reward par 4, short par 4, where you can almost drive the green. And my favorite hole is number 7 here, where you tee off in the vineyards and you play through the vineyards. It's a slight dog leg left around the hole. It's a tough golf shot off the tee, but if you hit a good shot, you get a pretty easy shot into the green.
I think Vineyard National has had a good history, but under the new ownership, I think the future is going to be much better, and this course is going to get some things added that really will help. Josh McCowan, who proudly serves as president of Vineyard National at Renault, a wonderful property in South Jersey that is going through an incredible transformation under new ownership and new management. And it's all on you, baby.
Hey, Tony, thank you so much for being here, man. It's an honor to be part of what you're doing. You know, this whole idea of traveling golf, lifestyle golf. This is really the future, I think. And you've been on it. You're the forefront of this business.
Well, it is a good story because people are so interested in not only golf, but everything else you can do. And nobody does it better than right here at Renault, because there is every kind of activity from the hotel to the winery and to that great golf course.
You know, Tony, when we found this place, we feel so blessed because as a group of us came together to buy this because we saw it as a jewel. I say it's a treasure for the whole country. It's the third oldest winery in America. 12 years, a phenomenal golf course, as you know. It's now called Vineyard National because we really have a national base of guests that come here. We're not too far from Philadelphia, and we're definitely not that far from Manhattan. So we really live in this kind of ideal situation for tourism.
And not far from the Atlantic City Airport, so you can get here from anywhere. It makes it very easy. The airport right around the corner, pretty much.
True.
This hotel has a very special flavor to it, whether it's for weddings, party celebration, or just the ultimate getaway.
It is, and you know, I don't want to bore you, but you got to hear how many different things the team put together. Now we're opening up a world-class spa. This is right away. We're also the East Coast now. Knot.com considers us the East Coast premier wedding vineyard destination. We have over 5 gorgeous wedding venues. We'll do more than a few hundred weddings a year for people from all over the country, because nobody has the story, the history, the authenticity. This property, the golf, is a perfect integration to everything else, all the amenities that are rich. We have 5 acres of nature trails all around these beautiful pine lands around here. We have a swimming lake just a mile down the road. You can even walk there. We have 242 acres of golf course and amenities around it, spa, and it's hard to describe how beautiful the new Champagne restoration, the Champagne House, is going to be. It'll be the East Coast's largest tasting room experience. It'll be more like Napa.
Creating a revolutionary product starts by asking, what if? What if we loaded every inch with game-changing innovation? What if we had a flight tuning system to control ball flight, roll face and cup face technologies for explosive power, slipstream sole technology for more speed, and dual carbon tech with 8 adjustable loft settings? And what if all this technology and performance costs significantly less than the competition? Exotics EXS by Tour Edge. Pound for pound, nothing else comes close.
The final piece of the puzzle along the Ed Sheeran Golf Trail came to the western part of Montgomery County with the building of Ravensclaw Golf Club, where there are more golf courses per square mile of any county in America. You bring another golf course in the midst of all of this competition. How were you able to differentiate Ravensclaw from the herd?
Well, as you know, Tony, we cut our teeth working on all the great classic Philadelphia School of Golf Course architecture courses: Pine Valley, Merion, Manufacturers, White Marsh Valley, Kenneth Square, Huntington Valley. And we took those concepts that the great architects, the Rosses, the Flynns, the Thomas, the Tillinghast, the Crumps, the Wilsons, and we incorporated those shot values into Ravensclaw. They picked the best ground that was close to the city. This ground is equally as good, a little further, but it has streams, tributary creeks, it has different elevation changes, it has wetlands, it has hedgerows of trees the farmers never cut. They're 300-year-old old growth trees. So we took all those natural elements and basically fit the golf course into that terrain. And the same shot values that have the courses that I mentioned, the average daily access golfer can have the same shot values at Ravensclaw. It's a player's course.
You wound up with 18 totally different holes, 18 memorable holes. And I really mean that sincerely. When you play Ravensclaw, even the first time, you're going to remember almost every hole. Let's talk about a couple of the holes that golfers leave there remembering. I'm going to start with my favorite. It's a little par 3 on the back that I think every time I've left Montgomery County, and I might be playing, well, someplace that they show on television a lot.
Well, you're referring to the 14th hole, which is a short 130-yard hole. It's a diagonal green, and it's reminiscent of the 12th hole at Augusta National. The difference is that it's diagonal the opposite way of the 12th hole at Augusta. It's long left, short right, and that's the corral to miss hit. If you fade the ball, you're going to be on the green at the 14th hole at Ravensclaw. At Augusta National, you'd be in Rays Creek. If you pull the ball, you hit it longer, you're on the back left of that diagonal green at Ravensclaw. There you'd be in the azaleas or the bunkers behind the 12th at Augusta National. Alistair McKenzie and Bobby Jones were trying to challenge the best players in the world, where I'm doing the opposite. I'm trying to make it playable for the 18 handicap player, and by just changing the diagonal green, that was accomplished.
I like the way you start the golf course. A par 5 first hole to get the players out there and let them start hitting the ball, finding the ball, playing the hole. But then you throw a little piece of interest right in that first hole that they'll never forget.
Yeah, again, you're trying to take advantage of all the natural features you have. There was a revolutionary barn that was right short of the first green. And we're thinking, what are we going to knock it down? And we finally decided, let's leave a portion of the wall with a window, mound around it so the ball will go either side of it for the most part. But you get the great revolutionary antiquity that you have in Montgomery County. You know, Valley Forge is the birthplace in Philadelphia of the nation. Well, you have an architectural feature on the first hole reminding you of that.
I think a lot of people remember the 17th hole also for a different reason.
Well, you know, it's funny because what you want to do psychologically, we mentioned that psychologically you want to have a hole that in the first tee you're thinking about in a stroke play event. Think of the 17th hole at TPC Jacksonville. You could be leading the tournament by 3 shots, and you know you have to come through 17 that people have scored pros 7s, 8s on. So on the 17th hole, we wanted to have, again, the short, medium, long. That's the long hole at 242 yards from the black tees, 210 from the white tees, the average man's tees. But it's very, very challenging. So at the end of the round, psychologically, the guy that really can pull the trigger, he's going to have a distinct advantage physically as well as psychologically. So that's a swing hole because in match play, typically you're pretty close. But if you're feeling confident, that person's going to shine on 17.
And then number 18, not as difficult, but definitely as interesting, a risk-reward hole.
The course has hosted the best women players in the world with the Symetra LPGA Tour. And it was interesting because there's 3 ways to play it. You can lay back and have 150 yards in by hitting a 220-yard shot. It's a bottleneck hole, which basically means it tightens down at 250, 270 yards. Or you can play it close to that and have a 120-yard shot in. Or if you can carry 260 plus yards, you can carry the bottleneck and have maybe chip for a birdie. And there was one woman, the longest player on the tour, averaging 296, that all 3 rounds was the only woman in the whole tournament that challenged it successfully 3 days in a row.
Options, that makes for interesting golf and brings you right to the close of your round at Ravensclaw. That wraparound deck at Ravensclaw's clubhouse is one of my favorite places, overlooking the 18th hole. It's a great place to watch your friends come in and make fun of a mistake, maybe make bogey or worse on that risk-reward hole.
No, it is a very nice place to sit, and it's facing due south, so you don't get the morning sun or the afternoon sun in your eyes, but you get the afternoon breeze coming down again as you watch your buddies tee off number 18.
The traveling golfer logs many miles along the golf trail, but this particular trip along the Ed Sheeran Golf Trail has been very interesting. A look into solid architectural principles and a study in the construction of 3 very different golf courses. I want to thank everyone who helped us at Riverwinds, Ravensclaw, and Vineyard National at Renault. And we'll catch you the next time somewhere along the golf trail with the Traveling Golfer.
Tony Leodora's Golf Wardrobe, courtesy of Antigua, the leader in modern golf apparel.
Tour Edge is the official equipment sponsor of the Traveling Golfer.